beautiful day out. Nice little hike in the woods. You'll get some blood running through the body. Especially if you live in the city, it's beautiful to grow because it gets you out into the country.
I've grown marijuana for quite a few years now. I've grown indoors, I've grown outdoors, I've grown organic soil and hydroponically.
Now just doing this with plants in your back is fun for us. You realize this is life imprisonment in Canada. Cultivation carries trafficking by the criminal code, which maximum penalty is life imprisonment. So right now, this is basically, I guess I'm committing a life, something that I should serve life in jail for.
Here is a most tragic case. Yes, I remember. Just a young boy. Under the influence of the drug, he killed his entire family with an axe.
Why did you do all this?
I was angry and I thought the law should change. So politicians wouldn't listen.
I discovered a book by Judge Emily Murphy. She was the first woman appointed to the bench in the British Empire.
This book had been serialized in Maclean's. It argued that marijuana was a new menace, that if you smoke the dried leaves of the plant, this produces insanity.
And that's where, in fact, we got our first prohibition against marijuana, from the writings of Emily Murphy in 1923.
So you introduce a law, presumably because there's a problem. There wasn't any problem. There weren't any convictions until 1937. And then from 1937 to 1961, you get about 10 to 12 convictions per year. And then in the mid-60s, 1,000 people in 1967 coming to court charged with marijuana possession. And the figures grew from there.
With the hippie movement, middle-class kids and upper-middle-class kids began dressing like lower-class kids. And when they began to be subject to these punitive laws and broad powers of arrest, search, and seizure, and the violence associated with drug enforcement, then all of a sudden, we had to have a royal commission. God knows my kids can't be treated like the way we treat the Chinese or lower-class white heroin users.
It was terrible to see your son in jail and go and visiting him out at the detention center.
I went.
And he's coming out there with all these different people, and then Chris comes walking through in the prison garb and, hi, Dad. I couldn't believe I'd ever see my son dressed up like that.
My father had actually put up $5,000 cash to get me out of jail, so, you know, without him, I'd still be in there.
They have a camera on every cell. If you look up and there's a camera staring in. So I was trying to get a little privacy, put some blankets up, and took my blankets away. Didn't give me any toilet paper.
It was pretty miserable. They leave the lights on all night. I just had to sleep on a metal bed.
I never want to go back there again, but it wasn't a real fun place. I didn't like it. They're just so rude to you. Well, I was the only female there that night. I couldn't believe it in the whole city of London. That's what I didn't like. I thought there must be far worse people than I. So this was eye-opening.
When I came back from jail, they took me there for the night and found my whole store was empty, so that was quite a shock.
I sort of think it's heroic, and I sort of think he's totally mad. Who wants to get arrested and have a criminal record for their life? And
oh, technically I faced maybe 4 or 5 life sentences now. I'm not even sure. It's hard to keep track of so many charges.
I can't think about it. I just cannot allow myself to think about that. I refuse to accept the worst possible verdict. So I don't even want to talk about that.
She was a good girl until she visited DopeFiends.com bookshop. Hey kids, want to buy a book? Here, I got something to show you. All good.
Welcome to DopeFiends.com. We provide you with information that is safe, profitable, and productive. Learn safety techniques that will help keep your plants, shrooms, and laboratories clean, well-maintained, and hidden from any nosy neighbors. Be more profitable by knowing the best varieties for you, best techniques, and the best maintenance for your operation. Want to increase your productivity? We have books and videos that will show you how to utilize your space more efficiently, written by professionals in the field. So now that you have the information, and you know where to get it, and you know where to find it, be wise and buy from dopefiends.com for all your growing knowledge and esoteric wisdom.
You have to bring some hemp products to court.
Sure, well, that's no problem.
A shirt. Yeah, a shirt. Trying to think, you don't have any ties, do you?
Yeah, we have a tie.
Wear one,
okay,
because I think that would be a nice high drama. I'll take it off you,
yeah,
and I'll hand it to the animals.
Wait. You're going to take his shirt off?
No, his tie. He has a tie.
Okay.
Yes, that's right.
They're the same species, Cannabis sativa, and the differentiation is that marijuana produces and has been selected to produce high levels of cannabinoids, specifically the THC type, whereas hemp is selected for fiber production and screened or selected for low THC production levels.
And because we know what it is about marijuana that makes it psychoactive, it should be incumbent on Parliament to prove, beyond a reasonable doubt, that someone is selling something which can be psychoactive and not something that you just use to make shirts and rope, twine, and things like that.
It'll provide a new crop, new source of income, and a crop that we can develop to finished product. So it has the beginning of a huge industry that we can be a part of the large global picture.
Of course, if you're afraid. That's bitter. That's more like it. I know you like that. Really, you will. And just take a puff of it.
It cuts across all socioeconomic groupings. It cuts across a range of values, attitudes, and beliefs.
It's predominantly an activity of the young and unattached. When people get to the mid to late 20s, there's a phenomenon known kind of as maturing out or aging out.
That's just kind of like a phase. Like back in the 60s, all the kids used to do it. Some of the adults still do it now, but most of them don't.
My colleagues, certainly, who have concerns as I do about the law, absolutely do not believe that young people who use these drugs are criminals, nor should they be treated as criminals.
We got pulled over one time, and I totally forgot I had anything on me, and had to go through just a little bit, and had to go through all fingerprinting and pictures and everything, and it ended up getting dismissed, and nothing followed, like no criminal record or anything like that, but it was just a waste of time.
No one, I think, could argue that hauling someone into court is an experience that makes a young person more integrated into society and more confident and gives them self-esteem. It's meant to be an extremely negative and humiliating experience.
I was a wreck.
But we have to realize that in today's complex society, the use of cannabis can stretch across various levels of the social strata. So people are able to obtain it by a variety of means. If they happen to be independent wealthy or they happen to have a reliable income, then of course they can access cannabis by means of a more sophisticated business network.
Hey, I'm in a big rush now. If I don't get to the bank in 10 minutes, I can't pay for their hotel room, so I gotta go. See you guys.
Has been much more stressful on him than people realize. He's the type of person that keeps everything inside.
When I found her, it's Chris calling. Not too much to do. No one opened the store today. I was wondering if you might be able to work today.
The sale of